Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, January 23rd. A heavy rain event is on the way for the I-95 corridor region. It looks like from the period late tonight through tomorrow morning into the early part of the afternoon. Strong low pressures headed today towards the Great Lakes to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region. That will result in some significant snow out in the upper part of the Midwest, and it'll result in a warm air surge along the Atlantic seaboard in the overnight hours. In fact, temperatures should rise through the 40s tonight in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, possibly reaching the 50s by early tomorrow. The winds will be quite gusty late tonight and tomorrow morning out of the south and southeast. And again, heavy rain is a good possibility from late tonight through tomorrow morning, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. This rain event could result in 1.5 to 2 inches of rain or so in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Let's take a look now at the temperature anomaly pattern at 850 millibars from last night's 0Z GFS model run over the next week or week and a half or so. Just wanted to point out that while we have this warm air surge in the overnight hours tonight into the day on Thursday, we have multiple cold air blasts coming into the central and eastern U.S. over the next week to 10 days or so. Again, starting off the day with warmer than normal conditions right here in the mid-Atlantic region. Much milder morning today than we've experienced the past few days. Certainly should reach 40 degrees this afternoon. But this heavy rain event will be followed by a very widespread and cold air mass for this time of the year for Friday and Saturday. And there are other cold air shots coming. Let's move forward here in the using the GFS 0Z model run. Okay, warmer than normal as we start off the day on Wednesday. Let's move ahead. These maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. This is into the overnight hours. Very warm relative to normal in the overnight hours. Again, temperatures should rise tonight through the 40s, perhaps reaching into the low and mid 50s by morning in D.C., Philadelphia, near 50 degrees in New York City. But look at this, another cold air shot showing up over the northern plains by early tomorrow, and that just moves right into the Great Lakes region and then the eastern U.S. by Friday and Saturday. Very widespread cold air mass for much of the eastern half of the nation by the early part of the weekend. And then we see kind of a secondary push dropping across the Great Lakes. We are now into the Sunday time frame. That heads into the northeast, and then yet another air mass showing up here way below normal over the central plains and northern plains by the early part of next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. And this may end up being the coldest air mass of all in this stretch here, with very cold temperatures coming to the upper part of the Midwest. Places like Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin could have some of the coldest air in years by the middle part of next week. And look at that, that just drops to the south and east. Here we are now into Thursday of next week, the very last day of January, and it just sticks around here right into the end of next week. So multiple cold air shots coming for the central and eastern U.S. over the next week to week and a half. But we have a mild air surge tonight and tomorrow associated with some heavy rain. Now let's get to the details of the next 48 hours or so. Well, I wanted to use the higher resolution NAM model run from 0Z last night. First, take a look at the 250 millibar level, way up in the atmosphere. Looking at jet streaks here. I want to show this because this is playing a role in the heavy rain expected here in the I-95 corridor region tomorrow morning, maybe even a rumble of thunder or so. Here we are starting off the day on Wednesday. Very strong winds in the higher part of the atmosphere, again associated with that low pressure out over the Midwest. Snowstorm for parts of the upper Midwest. Let's now move forward here. Again, these maps from Tropical Tidbits from 0Z NAM run. This is now by late today, early tonight, and then as we get into the overnight hours, that strong jet streak edges to the east, and we've talked about kind of an upper motion, downward motion pattern associated with upper level jet streaks. When you're in this quadrant right here, we call this the right entrance region of a jet streak, as we will be tomorrow morning in the I-95 corridor region. That is where there's strong upward motion. That's a very favorable sign here for not only heavy rain, but the possibility of some thunderstorm activity as well. So very heavy rain possible tomorrow morning right in this region right here, partly as a result of very strong upward motion associated with a strong upper level jet streak. Well, now let's walk through the surface forecast maps, again using the 0Z high resolution NAM model run. Pinks and purples here, by the way, are areas of sleet or freezing rain. A little bit of a concern across upstate Pennsylvania, at least at the onset here, for a little bit of ice later today, early tonight. But for the most part, it looks like it stays rain-free or precipitation-free in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Maybe a touch of light rain by the end of the afternoon here, but for the most part, the rain holds off till tonight, and that will allow for milder conditions to flow northward from the south to the north along the eastern seaboard. Here we are by early tonight. Scattered showers starting to break out, and again, temperatures will begin to rise. The winds will begin to increase out of the south or southeast by late tonight, getting quite gusty indeed, maybe past 35 miles per hour. The evening showers will evolve into a steadier, heavier rain after midnight, and certainly the rain can become heavy at times towards morning in the I-95 corridor region. Here we go. By early tomorrow morning, this rain could fall quite heavily, could have an impact on the Thursday morning commute. Wet, not white, though. It'll be a heavy rain, and that may also have a kind of a line that develops along a strong cold front that will start to arrive during the mid and late morning hours here. And again, there can be a rumble of thunder or two. Let's keep moving forward here. On the backside, tomorrow afternoon, temperatures will start to drop. Again, we may reach the 50s in some parts of the I-95 corridor region tomorrow morning, and then transition to the 30s by late in the day. There's a slight chance that the rain ends as a brief period of snow to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region midday or early afternoon tomorrow, but for the most part the winds will just kick up. It'll start to dry out and we turn much colder, back to the 20s tomorrow night, and then we have quite cold conditions for Friday and Saturday, with highs way below normal for this time of the year, probably struggling by Saturday to reach the 30-degree mark in the I-95 corridor region. Let's go all the way now into Saturday. Here we go. High pressure in control. Quite cold to end the work week and to begin the weekend. All that follows a heavy rain event from late tonight through the morning hours and into the early afternoon hours. All of that will be followed by another impressive cold shot for the eastern U.S. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.